Hi, I'm Abby Normal. I'm a professional psychic and spiritual healer. And today I am going to be exploring a crystal attunement and activation session for a client. And this client ordered an additional 15 minutes of psychic work. So it's going to be a 45-minute session focused on attuning the client to the energy of citrine. So we're going to be doing an attunement to citrine and exploring any type of wisdom that the frequency of citrine would like to share with the client today. So I'm going to relax now and get connected. This is a real psychic session. And so I'm gonna get relaxed. This is gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens next. Okay. So I'm just gonna relax here, and I'm talking to you, the client, right now. So I'm gonna get connected to your spiritual atmosphere, and get into the vibration of citrine as well, and we'll see what happens next. There are many different levels I could go with citrine, and these avenues are also interconnected with your spiritual atmosphere, okay? So, citrine is already telling me that it wants to help you in many different ways. And so, for me as a human being, it's like, well, citrine, for me to go here, 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 I'm just one human. So, maybe we could pick some avenues and find a way to merge them all together so we can accomplish all of this today. Citrine wants to go up vibrationally. Citrine wants to go down into lower dimensional consciousness realms that you're exploring. Citrine wants to go in realms in between. So as human beings, we're pretty awesome because we can project our consciousness into lower level realms where we feel confused and lost, frustrated, disconnected from the oneness, right? Which is perfectly fine. We came here to explore what it's like to be disconnected from oneness. Now, but sometimes we go into higher places where we do feel that connection. We feel in the zone. We feel amazing. We feel great. We feel that life is a blessing and a miracle. And then there's places in between. And citrine wants to go into all these different places. So I'm just going to relax here, see what happens next. So interestingly enough, it's sort of like I expected to run into a wall of vulnerability, but I haven't yet. I expected to run into deeper anguish and frustration, but it says no. So that's pretty common when we're wanting to bring balance to the parts of yourself that are kind of working with the confusion, right? There's a lot of pent up vulnerabilities in those places energetically, okay? But I didn't run into that wall, which surprises me. All right. Citrine and I are having a conversation right now. And citrine shows me you sort of like, have you ever seen those photos of beautiful sort of blossoms on like a lily pad, and they're just floating on a pristine little pond? Are they lotus blossoms? Are there other blossoms that do this? I don't know what they're called, but it reminds me kind of a lotus blossom. And it's sort of resting upon what looks like a lily pad, and it's floating. And what we see above, we also see in the reflection below. It's like a mountain, a beautiful mountain scene that reflects upside down in the water, right? So we see it right side up, but then the reflection makes it look sort of upside down. So citrine is talking about all the roots of your lotus flower that go down in these lower dimensional levels. But the true you is above all of this, the real you. These are the parts of the illusionary self that go in here and they feel like the real you, but they're just projections of your consciousness that has forgotten its true nature. The real you is actually resting upon a lily pad like this beautiful lotus flower, and you're resting in a very peaceful pond. As citrine says, no, Abby, I don't want you to go down to those lower level consciousness with me today. I want you to stay here at the upper levels, and we'll help to dissolve the illusions that are projecting you into the lower levels. So I'm taking a moment and I'm sitting what could only be defined as inside the lotus flower as a very, kind of like a Buddha style figure. I'm in the lotus position. Is that what they call it? That really amazing straight back and the legs and all the balance going on there. I don't sit in a lotus position in the real world. in the spirit realm right now, I'm sitting in the lotus position, in the lotus flower, and I feel much like a Buddha emanation. And I feel mind, body, and spirit. And Citrine shows me these orbs of reflection that are down in lower levels, and they're sort of getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like a mind that has too many thoughts. But one way that, for instance, people will teach you how to clear your mind of too many thoughts is just to simply look at a burning candle in a dark room and just focus on just the flame, just the candle flame, just the light, and don't think anything. Just watch. That's it. And so some part of all of this is allowing me to experience what is the reduction of too many thoughts. And they're just sort of popping like little bubbles. And we're just clearing the mind. And these too many thoughts are also echoing avenues that are going to take you into lower levels, and you don't even need to focus on those thoughts. It's not even worth it. Why would you focus on the thoughts that say, I don't know, what should I do? I'm confused, I'm angry, I'm lost. Why would you focus on those thoughts? Why would you even let those thoughts be born into your essence? You don't need those thoughts. Because the true you is harmonious, is at peace, will make a decision, stand by that decision, and be at peace with whatever happens based on that decision. Whether a human being would define that as negative or positive doesn't matter, because it's all about the learning, and the learning is what makes being human so interesting, so wonderful. Let's keep it positive, right? Let's keep the reflection above, because that's truly who you are. And anything beneath is just the reflection, but the truth is right here. The truth is right here. Citrine is, I'll be honest, I am such a hyperactive person, and I'm just like kind of like always bubbly and bouncing around. And Citrine is so relaxed and peaceful. It's even jarring for me to chill out. So I and Citrine, I need to chill out. I need to slow down my vibe so I could be in the same harmonic frequency as the Citrine consciousness that is wanting to work with you today. It's just so peaceful, so wise. It's got a golden emanation to it, and it makes me think of, inspires me to think of Buddha. I keep feeling like a Zen vibe, Buddha energy, harmonic, sort of a Asian cultural style spirituality. It's wonderful. And now, when I experience myself as sitting in the lotus position, a part of my consciousness is outside of this image, and I'm looking at what is you sitting in this lotus position. All right, okay. There's just a lot of energetic movement going on in your spiritual atmosphere, so I just gotta like let it squirm and move. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Okay, so this is the element of resistance to that which we truly are. I've discovered this. I have elements of resistance with who I truly am, which is the most enlightened, most wonderful, most harmonious me, right? There'd be an element of resistance in sitting in the lotus position. But why? Why not just give it a try? You know, there'd be a resistance, element of resistance in me, because it's just my personality, right? It's just the way that I am. It's just the way, my weird dynamic way. But why do we want to resist harmony? Why do we want to resist something more harmonious and a new interesting experience, even if it's challenging, our way? Maybe I like to slouch. Maybe I don't want to challenge myself to sit up straight. that maybe there's something wonderful in giving it a try, right? So why do we have these elements of resistance? So you are expressing an element of resistance, the part of yourself looking at yourself as what would be a divine and holy bodhisattva style consciousness in this lotus position, in this harmonious lotus flower that is so peaceful and divine upon this pond where there's no wind or ripple in the water and everything is in pure and utter balance. The element of resistance version of yourself is looking at this and it's just angry. It feels like it needs more interesting experiences, as in it wants to rattle the cage, it wants to shake things up, it wants to cut loose, it wants to do a little bit more wild child type expressions. It wants to be a little bit more pissed off, a little bit more dirty, I suppose. This is the resistance side of you. This side of you wants to get you going in these lower reflective illusionary spaces of separation from your harmony, from your true self. Citrine says no. I want you to start exploring, feeling, discovering the natures of your resistance, of your most harmonious self. And you need to face those elements of resistance and love them. And now bring them up to you, the harmonious you in the lotus flower. Because you don't need to be anything less than yourself, do you? The element of resistance is relaxing substantially. It feels a bit embarrassed and ashamed. Feels like it shouldn't have been working so hard at derailing your pathway. And it's a bit confused as to why it has chosen to do this. Why would it want to derail its own precious self's pathway? So it's basically you talking to you, your chaotic side talking to your harmonious angelic side. And the chaos side is saying, why am I wanting to hurt you? Why am I attracted to this chaos? You know, it's self-realizing, right? Because we do that. We self-realize as human beings. Well, some of us do, I guess. But so this chaos side is talking to harmonious side, but harmonious side is not even looking at chaos side, is not even acknowledging chaos side, is simply so balanced and harmonious within itself. It doesn't even need to acknowledge chaos at all. So chaos is now sort of in a battle within itself. Chaos is in battle within itself. And Citrine says anything that is chaos, my friend, you don't need to look at it. You don't need to acknowledge it. Let it be in chaos with itself. Eventually it will disappear, just like these thought bubbles, just like all these little orbs of reflections of yourself going in avenues beneath you. Why would you ever want to be beneath yourself? It's like the mountain saying, I want to be my reflection, but I don't want to be who I truly am. I'm afraid of being myself. So I'm just going to project my consciousness into the water and go into the depths of the water in order to find myself in the reflection. Well, why not just be the mountain that you are? Why not just be the lotus flower that you are? Why do you need to go into your reflection down there? You're not going to find yourself. You'll find a battle with chaos. And in desperation to balance that battle in order to find yourself when you could just let it all go. You could just simply let it all go, right? Okay. A new sort of like a pocket of chaotic energy is coming up. It's like a bubble coming up and out of the water. And it's got to see this face to face. It's like really insisting. I gotta look at what's going on up here. So you have all these... It's like chaos is really trying to get your harmonious attention so that chaos can have a reason for being, right? Because if we acknowledge chaos, then chaos is real. If we do not acknowledge chaos, then chaos doesn't exist, right? How many of us acknowledge chaos each and every day? Now chaos is real. If we just stop acknowledging chaos, it just disappears. But how do you stop acknowledging chaos, huh? Do you know? You start acknowledging what is true, what is real. Is that life is wonderful, it is interesting, and I'm enjoying this experience? It's harmonious. Perhaps it doesn't need to come with words or an explanation at all. Perhaps it could just be a rested, peaceful experience. But it doesn't have to be sort of like a shake, rattling, and rolling calamities that we need to go find ourselves in order to feel alive. Drama. Your harmonious side is standing up from the lotus position and is stretching, and you look like a little fairy. Citrine says it's okay. There is sadness within this harmonious side, within the fairy. And the sadness is what keeps you going down into the darker places, because you're trying to figure out what the sadness is so you can heal it within yourself. But for some reason, you're trying to heal it within the circumstances of your life. And so you're creating energetic circumstances, all right, in the physical reality. You're creating the stuff in the physical reality in order to relive, in order to resolve. But all you need to do is just love yourself. And then it goes away. And then you don't need to have more of these circumstances. Why is that so hard? Why does it feel like it needs to be so much more complex? It must be more difficult than this. How is just simply loving myself going to heal whatever this complex feeling is? Why don't you let go that it is complex? Why don't you transform the idea of it being complex into what could only be defined as simple? And it's simply loving yourself. The fairy says it hurts, it hurts. And she shows me a little sort of like a fiery ball inside of herself. Where is it located? Sort of on the left side, just beneath the rib cage. And it's a fiery ball, and she keeps like, oh, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Just like that. And there's a blue one too, a blue orb. And it's sort of right straight down, just beneath the stomach. It's sort of like in between, it's like the lower rib cage and the belly button. It's just like hanging out right there. Just a little blue glowing orb, light blue color. And I go to her and I say, what are these weird orbs all about? Okay. This is going to get more interesting. You are dividing yourself up into, I don't know, let's say 12 versions of yourself. And you're trying to create chaos again. But you insist this is natural. This is your instinctive way. This is your nature to do this. I say, what if you started doing the opposite and saying my instinctive way, my nature is to be harmoniously in balance? And any time you feel like splitting yourself apart into a bunch of versions of yourself in order to, I mean, what are you looking for? What are all these parts of you about? Why are you doing this? It doesn't have purpose other than to distract you from the harmonious reflection of yourself, the true you. I'm going to let it happen and we're going to see what it means, okay? So you're a bunch of parts of yourself and you're flying in every direction. You're a bunch of fairies and you all look the same and you're flying in a bunch of different directions. And each one carries the spirit of chaos within its heart. And each one is looking for chaos out there. And the original version of you says, I must find this chaos in order to heal this chaos. I must find it, so I'm sending out parts of myself in order to search for the chaos. I talked to Citrine about this. I say, Citrine, what do you make of this? What do you think about this? Citrine says, let it go. I can just be citrine for her right now. And oddly enough, citrine comes to you in a very large stone. I mean, giant chunk. And it glows a golden color. And you hold it in your hands. And it says, I can just be citrine for you. And for some reason, you start to realize that all you truly wanted was to be loved by something so precious and so special. And all the parts of you come back so they too can experience being loved. Being loved is way more important than going and looking for chaos. Being loved then gives you the courage now to love yourself. So you're holding citrine and you're feeling this radiating love. I can just be citrine for you. But you feel so touched by that message that you start to cry and feel emotional, and you hold it very tight like a child holding a teddy bear. And you never want citrine to ever leave you, ever leave you. And then you don't want to be alone. And you never want to be alone, ever. Citrine, stay with me, please. Be with me. Never leave me, love me. Be always what you are, but never change. And love me, just like this. That I always may feel this loved by you. By a precious meaning in this universe. That which we define as citrine. Citrine says, I can never be the love that you need in your life, but I can love you. And you start to cry and you say, who then will be the love that I need in my life? And you just start to cry and cry and cry. And you fall to the ground. You're sitting down now. Not sort of in the perfect harmonious lotus position, but more like an Abbey natured slouch. Got to work on that, huh? Okay, but there's tears. So much sadness. But you're starting to glow a golden color. And the citrine is glowing golden as well. And you just want to lay down and in a way disappear, but you never do disappear. But citrine is now within your heart and you're glowing the color of citrine. You're glowing a golden color and you're laying down. But you still feel this sort of emptiness. And you want to just sink into the water. And you don't care if the water sucks you in and carries you away into the depths of darkness. Because in some odd way, it's the darkness that comforts you. When the light is not there. When the love is not there. I say you have to be the light and the love for yourself. Why are you not strong enough to be the light and the love for yourself? You choose to be that or you do not choose to be that. So what do you choose? And when I ask you this question, what is your answer? Do you choose to not love yourself? Simply say it and now go into the abyss. And have some amazing learning and interesting experiences down there. It can be interesting. Or say, I can love myself. I do love myself. I will love myself forevermore. Now stand firm with that choice. Don't kind of love yourself, kind of not love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Every single day, love yourself. Love yourself more. Each and every day, love yourself. Make a choice. What do you choose? There's a hissy, slithery, angry thing hissing at me, hating me, for forcing you to not wobble between, because sometimes life isn't awesome, and I sometimes feeling like this negative side of myself. And sometimes life is great, and then I can feel great about life. And then I can love myself more when life is great. But when life isn't great, then guess what? I'm not really that happy. And yes, I do have a hard time loving myself. And it just hisses at me. It just keeps hissing at me like a really scary snake. Like a snake on attack. And I say, what if you just chose to simply put your foot down? And if you're having a bad day, say I'm having an interesting day and I'm learning about what it's like to be human. But my day is truly a miracle and it's wonderful and I feel so blessed in this moment. And that is loving yourself. Or you could sink down and just admit that it was a bad day and now it really is a bad day. Or you can say it was an interesting day and I'm not going there. I'm not going down there. I'm staying on this lotus flower. If it's the last thing I do, I'm staying on this lotus flower and I'm never going beneath the surface. I'm never going there. Now you start to glow with golden light. And the resistance, right? This hissing snake is just simply teaching you about resisting that which you already are. Why is it so hard to simply be love? Why is it so hard? The snake says to you that it is hard. Then you believe it. So now the snake is laughing at you. And you deserve it. You deserve to suffer in the dark abyss because you're choosing it. You say, I want to go there, so now you're there, right? But you can stand firm and say, I'm never going there ever again because I don't ever want to go there. I want to live a happy, joyful life. And even if I have a bad day, I'm going to acknowledge it was a wonderful, interesting day. And I'm going to have so many more wonderful, interesting days. And you're going to start to notice life getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And the golden citrine energy within you is going to attract a lot of gold into your life. And by gold, I mean actual money, financial wealth. And by gold, I mean what can only be defined as enlightenment, love, spiritual healing, your true nature itself, harmony, many days of smiling and dancing and singing, clapping, listening to other people sing. I see what is a small community, and it's a bit old school, like a folk singers, traveling folk singers happen to travel to this community, and it's all like Pied Piper-y clothes, and women and men, children, all ages are here, and it's outdoors, and there's a beautiful sort of outdoor man-made sort of theater, and it's small. There's dirt on the ground. Yes, it's not like cement. Everything's made out of wood, and it's very earthy feeling. And the women have sort of like natural flowers and sort of rings around their heads. And so the women have flowers in their hair, and there's something very earthy and natural, and it's kind of olden times, fairy tale, folkish, something like this. And there's lots of clapping. It's kind of like a hippie fest, but it's like everybody's dressed like in Pied Piper-y, like Pied Piper style, fairy tale style clothes. And I just see this one particular, it's a female, and she's smiling. She has really beautiful teeth, which make her smile really attractive. She has a very attractive, straight teeth, beautiful smile. And she has a soft sort of purple color to her dress, and her dress shows her shoulders, and she has very beautiful skin. She's very earthy looking. That has absolutely no makeup on. Her hair is long, and it's got kind of kinks to it, and some frizz, but it's like really natural and earthy looking, and it looks beautiful. She has some of her hair pulled back, and she has flowers in her hair, and she just keeps smiling, and she feels like this is what life is all about. And this man is up there and he's got like a flute that he plays and he dances. And then he's got, I don't know, ukulele or some other sort of stringed instruments. And he sings songs and he tells stories. And it's so interesting. Everybody is just, this is just wonderful. It's a wonderful experience for everybody. I keep getting this sense that, she's kind of like I don't know, a maiden, like a teenage girl and maybe 16, and she does not have a partner. And she wants someone to dance with. And the idea of dancing isn't just to dance here at this little festival in the community, but a partner to dance with for the rest of her life, a companion, a husband. She feels somehow empty in her heart, and although she is smiling and she's radiant, she has not been chosen by anybody to dance with her for the rest of her life. And this makes her feel sick inside, and it makes the flower of her essence wither and die. And so there's a part of herself that has died as she is still smiling and clapping. And it makes me very sad. And we return to the lotus flower where you are looking at your reflection and you say, "Who am I?" You feel like throwing up. You feel like you have lost yourself, your identity, your pure essence. And you lost it in the reflection of the water. And you lost it in the abyss. You lost it. I say you didn't lose anything. And don't go saying you lost something, otherwise you did lose it. I want you to ask yourself, is it truly lost? Go into your heart and say, a part of myself that I feel I have lost, is it truly lost? You instantly, your heart just crunches. I hear like a crunching sound. Just a squeeze of the heart and everything crunches. And you just start to heave and cry profusely. And you feel somehow your divine essence has been defiled. There's so much sadness. There is actually a giant that appears here. And he doesn't look ogreish, giant-y. He looks like a normal man, but really, really tall and proportioned. He has brown hair. He has extremely vivid blue eyes. He has noticeable cheekbones. He has some rose to his cheeks. He has pale skin. He does not have any facial hair. He's dressed also kind of in that style. He reaches a very large hand out to you, what is like a fairy. And you're a golden girl. You're made out of gold. And your hair is made out of gold. But it's something of the citrine within yourself. And he sees you as a golden girl. And when he reaches his hand out to you, he reaches just a finger. And you touch his finger just with your hand, your little tiny hand. He just gazes into your golden eyes. And all he is doing is making a gesture of love. And telling you that you are beautiful. And when he says you are beautiful inside and out. You need to know that you are beautiful inside and out. You are beautiful inside and out. And for some reason, it feels like it needs to be emphasized that you are beautiful on the inside. Because something says I am desecrated inside. but the message is that you are beautiful inside. He has no other purpose but simply to gaze into your golden eyes, to appreciate you as you are, and to tell you are beautiful. And when he says that he gazes into your eyes, but he's saying about who you are on the inside. You need to know that you are beautiful on the inside, not desecrated or defiled. Beautiful. Beautiful on the inside, over and over and over again. And it's simply a gaze. And he simply says you are beautiful. And that's the only purpose. He is not going to pick you up, take this golden girl to his giant house and keep you as his slave or his golden dancer or who knows what. He just wanted to appreciate you like a giant human appreciates a little butterfly on the flower, right? Not to take the butterfly, put it into a jar and store it until it dies, but to let the butterfly be as it is on the flower, and simply to tell the butterfly that it is beautiful. And that's all he is doing. He feels very special to have found such a magical golden girl sitting in a lotus flower on this pond, and that he would have the opportunity to tell her, to gaze into her eyes and tell her that she is beautiful, and that he hopes within his heart she will understand what he means. He smiles as he walks away. As tall as the trees are taller, he walks away. You're not alone. And you say that it's time for me to leave the lotus flower. It's time for me to find myself not in my reflection, not in the water, but to leave the pond and the lotus flower and everything I've ever known, as in held on to. I want to move on from all that I've held on to. And you grow your fairy wings and you fly into the forest. Citrine is within your heart everywhere you go. When you are sad, you do not glow a golden light. When you are happy, you glow a golden light. But you can glow a golden light all the time if you choose. There's still a lot of hurt inside of yourself. A lot of hurt. Oddly enough, you keep holding on to the idea that life will get better in a way, waiting for a miracle, a magical event to take place. But you are the magic. You are the magic. And life already is wonderful. Sadness. So you're in a dark forest, but you can see a bright moon in the sky as you feel all of these emotions. And I say, when will you realize how bright you are? When will you acknowledge how wonderful you are? When will you choose to be your true self? The bright and beautiful self, not the withering, dying flower at the festival, the beautiful girl without a dancer. The loneliness that you feel. You just start to cry again. And all of this is sort of touching a lot of vulnerable places within you. You're digesting too many sorrows. And you don't have to. It's sort of like, I could choose to eat an orange today, or I could choose to eat some trash out of the garbage can. And so why would you choose to eat the trash out of the garbage can, which is going to make you feel worse? It's digesting the negative emotions and the feeling of unsettled parts of yourself that you can't let go of. You're attached to the sadness. So you have to let go of it, and then it heals itself. But part of that is acknowledging how beautiful and how wonderful you are. Part of that is acknowledging these simple truths. And it's not a complex journey. It's a simple journey. And it's a beautiful, radiant journey. Slow down your pace. Hug yourself. You got Citrine with you everywhere you go. And Citrine loves you. Citrine will always bring you into a place of harmony and balance. A Zen-style feeling. It reminds me of Buddha-style energy. Sort of Asian-style spirituality. And I love that flair. It's very appropriate for you. I'm taking you to the moon. I'm actually picking you up and I'm taking you to the moon. And to take you to the moon is to take you to heaven, is what it's like. But why do I have to take you there? Why are you not able to take yourself there? Again, it comes back to choice. Do you choose to be happy or do you choose to be sad? And don't dwell on the sadness. Get yourself back into the happiness, right? And even on the sad days, this is an interesting experience that I'm having here. And now talk to your inner self and say, hey, I'm struggling. I'm sad right now. Inner self says, what can I do to help you? I just feel like I'm falling apart. I want you to take a nice deep breath. I want you to slow down your pace. I want you to acknowledge that you are not falling apart, that you are stable and sturdy. I want you to take a nice deep breath of golden citrine style air and allow it into your being. Allow that majestic, magical energy into your being. Allow yourself to smile. Allow yourself to remember who you are. Now think of something you desire in your life. Something fun, right? Take yourself on a journey to a beautiful scene, whatever it might be. Maybe it's a carnival. Maybe it's a getaway to a distant land. Maybe a vacation to a beach scene. I don't know. Something you always wanted that you've never had before. Maybe it's a first class ticket on a plane. Who knows what it is? It's worth it to just say, I'm going to have a real experience of something that makes me happy right now. It has nothing to do with sadness. And I'm going to manifest this happy experience for myself. And now I want you to live and breathe in this happy moment for as many minutes as you can stay in there. Now I want you to create another happy experience. And another one, and another one, and another one. And now suddenly the only thing that is real are these happy experiences that you're going to manifest for yourself. And Citrine is going to help you. Citrine is going to help you. I mean, that is clear here. And there's a lot of abundance messages going on with this. And the golden energy, again, is not just about golden enlightenment or golden spiritual harmonies. It's about money. It's about wealth. Golden coins. It's about wealth. Stay positive. Know how beautiful you are. Love yourself. All right, that's all I can share. This was super interesting, and I want to thank you for, your willingness to share the psychic session openly. I guarantee there's people who will watch this that will say, wow, I needed to hear this message in my own life. So thank you. And for any of those out there who would like to connect with me for a psychic session, we can share it on YouTube, or we could do it privately, do it live, however you want to explore that with me. But you may do so by visiting me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.